The stories are true. He's come back to seek his revenge. Only you can save your children. You must make yourself remember.
Remember what?
Peter, don't you know who you are?
Have to fly. Have to fight. Have to crow. Have to save Maggie. Have to save Jack. Okay, he's back. Who?
Let's fly!
Oh my God, where are we going?
To Never Never Land.
Where?
I hate Peter Pan.
Oh, how we long for Old Spice.
Oh, okay. Well, he hates Peter Pan. All right. So that was the trailer for Hook. Now, let's see. Hook was a 29% tomato meter with a 76% audience score. So, Brandon, are you on the tomato meter side of 29%, or are you audience side of 76%?
Totally on the audience side on this one. I think the audience side actually should be higher.
Yeah, I think it should be like in the 80s at least.
Yes.
At least.
Rotten Tomatoes wrong.
Now, would you consider this a classic? I would.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
Does it hold up to today?
I believe it does.
Only, well, the first part doesn't because, you know, the flip phones. But yeah,
Well,
they're coming back out with flip phones, so I guess it really doesn't, you know. Now, let's see, I think that's about it, really. Now, when you first watch the trailer, it looks like it's a paranormal movie because it shows green lights and the kids' blankets getting whipped off their beds and they get abducted and there's scrapes on the walls and yeah, it looks spooky, but nope, it's Hook took his kids.
yes, he did.
All right, so if you don't, people who don't remember or think they've seen it and don't remember, when his young children are abducted by his old nemesis, Captain Hook, middle-aged lawyer Peter Banning returns to his magical origins as Peter Pan. Peter must revisit a foggy past in which he abandoned Neverland for family life, leaving Tinkerbell and the Lost Boys to fend for themselves. Given their bitterness towards Peter for growing up and their allegiance to their new leader, Rufio, the old gang may not be happy to see him.
Because he grew up.
I don't know if I saw the same movie because they were happy to see him, but was disappointed that he didn't have any of his magic.
Rufio wasn't happy to see him because Rufio was running
Rufio
the gang.
definitely wasn't happy to see him.
But Rufio was running the gang at that time.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, he had the life, you know. So let's see. I want to see some.
Well, he grew up.
Yeah.
That was the thing. They're not supposed to grow up, and he grew up. So
How dare he? So Dustin Hoffman played Captain Hook. Robin Williams played Peter Banning. Julia Roberts played Tinkerbell. Bob Hoskins played Smee. Maggie Smith played Granny Wendy. Caroline Goodall played Moira Banning. Charlie Korsmo played Jack Banning, or Jackie. Amber Scott played Maggie Banning. Laurel Cronin played Liza. Phil Collins played Inspector Good. Arthur Mallet played Toodles. Isaiah Robinson played Pockets. Let's see. Rufio is played by Dante Basco. In trivia, let's see. There's not much trivia. Down to spoilers, anyways. When the Bennings fly to England, the pilot's voice is that of Dustin Hoffman. This is the girl captain speaking. Now, Robin Williams became best friends with director Steven Spielberg while making this movie. Reportedly, after Williams' death, Spielberg decided to watch this movie out of remembrance, but couldn't finish it because he couldn't stop crying for several hours. That's kind of sad.
I mean, I can see that. He's missed by a lot of people, so
Yeah.
most definitely.
He had a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Lots of problems. The kissing couple on the bridge who begin to float when some fairy dust lands on them as Tinkerbell takes the unconscious Peter back to Neverland were George Lucas and Carrie Fisher in a cameo. I didn't know that. I'm going to have to watch that
Yeah,
part
I didn't
again.
know it either.
Were they actually kissing? I'm going to have to watch that. Dame Maggie Smith, being only 56 years old at the time of filming, was aged by makeup to play 92-year-old Granny Wendy. They did a good job, I thought.
Yeah, they did. Very good job.
Yeah. I was thinking that she was, what's her name? Professor Minerva McGonagall. You know, in Harry Potter. I thought that's who it was, but I wasn't sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
According to the 2019 bio of Carrie Fisher by Sheila Weller, first assistant director Bruce Cohen reported that Fisher was mainly hired to polish Tinkerbell's lines, though she did other things as well. One exchange of dialogue Cohen credits to Fisher are the lines when Tinkerbell says, "You know that place between sleep and awake? That place where you still remember dreaming? That's where I'll always love you. That's where I'll be waiting."
That's a good line.
Now, Smee bought beer for 300 plus extras after a lengthy and complicated scene was cut.
I want to be an extra.
Yeah, right?
Buy me a beer.
I'll drink a beer, yeah. He also would elevate stress on set by singing various versions of the Lionel Richie hit Hello by including the lyrics, "Hello, is it Smee you're looking for?" I love to have fun, so I think that would have been awesome to be on set on that one.
Yeah.
In this movie, it explained that Toodles lives with Wendy because Wendy didn't have the heart to put him in a home. In the original draft of the play, Toodles and Wendy got married when they grew up.
Yeah.
I kind of figured there was something going on anyways, but, I don't know.
Right.
When Granny Wendy is telling the children about the story of Peter Pan, she is holding one of the original printings of the book. It is a first edition version, which is noticeably by the olive color and the gold gilt design on the front cover. The version was printed in 1911 as the first novelization of Peter and Wendy. I heard that, so it's cool to actually see that it was true. Either I heard it or I expected it. I'm not sure.
Oh, I figured you'd have read it.
I probably read it. Oh. The word bangarang is actually Jamaican slang for uproar, disorder, or disturbance. Now that's cool. I didn't know that. That's cool though. Gutless, the male bearded pirate who is locked in a boo box with scorpions, was played by Glenn Close. Writer James V. Hart credits the inspiration for his take on the continuing Peter Pan story to his young son Jake, who one day asked him what would have happened if Peter Pan grew up. That's pretty cool.
Exactly this.
Carrie Fisher did some uncredited rewriting on the final draft of the screenplay. Cool. Dustin Hoffman's former co-star John Voight asked him if he could bring his children James Haven and Angelina Jolie to the set because they were dying to meet Captain Hook. Hoffman agreed to meet them while in costume. Jolie was 16 years old, and Hoffman described her as a tall, thin, gawky-looking girl with a mouth full of braces. After Jolie told Hoffman she was going to be an actress, Hoffman went home to his wife and said, "I don't think this kid has any idea what a tough road she's got." Nearly 20 years later, their paths would cross again as they were the voices of Master Shifu and Tigress in the Kung Fu Panda trilogy of films.
Yes.
That's pretty funny. Now, Dustin Hoffman's 3 children made appearances in the movie. His youngest son, Max Hoffman, played 5-year-old Peter Pan. His daughter, Rebecca Hoffman, played Jane in the play at the beginning of the movie. And his oldest son, Jake Hoffman, played Little League player in Jack's baseball game. That's pretty cool. Wow. The line spoken by Rufio, "You're dead, jolly man," had to be spoken backwards by Basco, as the scene was shot and then played in reverse so the sword blade would come away from Robin Williams' face instead of towards it. His actual line spoken was, "Na me lad, I had Ryu." Okay, they don't sound like "You're dead, jolly man" backwards, but I don't know. I guess I can play it backwards and see. Julia Roberts was nicknamed Tinkerhell because she was difficult to deal with, a reaction to her working conditions of solitude and green screen. Well, when all you did was play against a green screen, I guess it could be hell anyways.
Well, yeah, she used to be in big spotlight.
Yeah. Carrie Fisher was Steven Spielberg's original prototype for Tinkerbell. Robin Williams' upper body and arms were shaved for his role. There were frequent good-natured battle of wits exchanged between Robin Williams and Justin Hoffman. In one incident, Hoffman was not happy with his performance and asked for the scene to be reshot. Williams quipped, "Try acting," a reference to the Hoffman Sir Lars Oliver exchange on the set of Marathon Man. That would be something he would say too. Try acting.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just the way it was, though.
Yeah. Now, Bob Hoskins reprised his role as Mr. Smee in Neverland in the 2011 version, which I knew. It said,
They could have got David Bowie to do it.
yeah, that's what I was just about to say. David Bowie had turned down the role of Captain Hook. That's weird. This was Gwyneth Paltrow's second movie. She appears briefly as the teenage Wendy during the quick sequence as Wendy is growing up. I did not even notice that.
I didn't either.
How would you like this job? Because Tinkerbell was often in the air, Julia Roberts had an assistant whose sole responsibility was to clean her feet.
Wow.
So, would you like that job?
I mean, I could do it. It's whatever.
If they pay me enough, I'd clean feet. Alright, so hopefully some of that rings a bell. If it doesn't, let's do some quotes.
Quotes.
Prepare to die, Peter. To die would be a great adventure. Death is the only adventure you have left.
Thought he was cool. Lost what? I've lost my marbles.
Peter Pan, I remember you being a lot bigger. Captain Hook, to a 10-year-old, I'm huge.
Yes.
What about when Peter says to Tinkerbell and who's fighting off the pirates, "Are you related to Mighty Mouse?"
Well, that's, yeah. I mean, that's a funnier one.
Yeah. What about when Maggie, while seeing Peter fighting a pirate, smiles, "Peter Pan's my dad?"
Hmm.
Oh, when he saw Tinkerbell for the first time, Firefly from hell, big damn bug.
She's a firefly from hell.
Have to fly, have to fight, have to crow, have to save Maggie, have to save Jack. Hook is back. Who?
Who? What are you talking about?
That's just some quotes. That there's more, but those are more or less might as well act the whole thing out if we read some of them because they're long.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of quotes from the movie that get your bells ringing. All right, so I think we flicked this movie. What kind of mindset would you get? Would you tell somebody to go in and see this movie?
Just happy. Be a kid.
Yeah. Be prepared to just think like a kid and go in there because it's Hook, Peter Pan. It's a kid movie.
Funny.
It's in the name. So I think that's why the audience score was higher because they knew it's Peter Pan. They knew it was a kids movie. They went in there, viewed it as a kid. Critics go in there like a critic, critiquing the movie. That's the only thing they go in there for. So they're not going to like it because they're not thinking like a kid. That's just my 2 cents on it.
I just think it's family and it's a good movie.
Yep. Next week, we are going to watch, and Brendan don't even know what this is yet, Venom.
Venom.
And
Venom.
we're doing this one because it had a 30% on Tomato Meter, but it had 80% on audience score. So come back next week and find out where we were at, if we were close to the critics or we were on the audience side. So until next week, have fun watching the movies.
As always.